Hi, I'm here with Steve O'Reilly. This is Gail Saunders. We're here with SkinnyPost.com. And today, one of the biggest trades just went down. Brandon Marshall to the Miami Dolphins for two second-round draft picks. That's one in 2010 and one in 2011. Stephen O'Reilly, big-time Broncos fan. How do you feel about this?
Well, initially, I'm not happy. I mean, Brandon Marshall is a fantastic player. You know, he had 3 straight years with 100 catches. He was the go-to guy in the passing attack. And, you know, at 6'5", 230 pounds, you don't find guys that are built like that very often. He's proven, and, but I think the writing was on the wall. I think every Bronco fan knew he was headed out the door. I think the relationship had gone sour in Denver. He had some history there, and unfortunately, we saw it coming, but once it actually happens, it doesn't really make it any easier. It's going to be tough to replace a guy like that, but at the same time, he's had some issues, and like I said, the writing's on the wall. McDaniels got rid of another Pro Bowler, so they're leaving pretty fast in Denver.
You sound a little depressed over there, huh?
Well, I mean, a guy like Brandon Marshall, he's a stud. I mean, any way you look at it, he's a Pro Bowl wide receiver. Now you're going to go into the draft and try to replace him. So really what you did is you wasted a first-round pick buying something that you already had. So you go in the first round and get a guy like Dez Bryant. Now it's just like you replaced him. So now where did your first-round pick go? It didn't. You treaded water at the wide receiver position. So now you're just going into the second round where if you would have kept Brandon Marshall, tried to, mend fences, patch up the relationship, you could have went in a different direction in the first round, got another need pick, went in a different direction in the second round, got another need pick. But with that said, it's also a deep draft, so in the second round with 2 picks, maybe they can get a couple guys that can, add some help, or they could make a package and maybe trade up and try to get one of the quarterbacks, because personally, I don't think Kyle Orton is the future of the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, my issue with you guys letting Brandon Marshall go, I mean, it changes the whole dynamic of your offense. You don't really have a guy that can really stretch the field. I mean, Jabbar Gaffney is a role player. Eddie Royal is a guy that can go in and out of the slot, make some big plays here and there, especially on special teams. But now defenses can actually game plan for you guys a little bit more easier, put guys up close to the line. You don't have a guy that's going to stretch the field like before. And now you look at Miami. A lot of things are going down in the AFC East. It's been very active. Now they have a proven beast at number one. I don't know if that's writing on the wall for Ted Ginn Jr.
Might be.
You got Best and you got Camarillo, two quality guys, and now you have a Brandon Marshall, and plus they have the running game. So.
And Chad Henne is a big arm quarterback. I mean, he's not Chad Pennington. This is a guy that can wing it. I mean, he can throw it through a brick wall. So they got the pieces on offense, and I don't think it's the offense in Miami. It's the defense. I mean, they've needed a third down receiver. They needed a guy that could go up on 3rd and 8 and make that big play over the middle or go up high and make a catch, and they got him. They have their man. And the question is now, are they going to lose games like they did against the Saints, where they scored plenty of points, but the Saints offense just, pounded back into it and came from behind and beat them. So, with Miami keeping their first-round pick, I just think that was huge. Staying at 12, now they got a first-round pick. They can get a defensive tackle, which I think they're going to do. I think they're going to start at the football and work their way back straight up the middle. So they're going to start at the nose tackle position, strengthen that, then go to middle linebacker, then go to safety. And then if a safety is available that's better than the linebacker, maybe they go DT, safety, linebacker. But anyway you look at it, they got to solidify the core. I mean, they got Dansby. That was a great pickup. So they've got some of the pieces, but they still need some more interior work in the middle to shut down the run and get some pressure. Joey Porter's gone. Taylor might be going to the Jets. So they need to find a guy who can come off the edge and get pressure to the quarterback too. But their young corners are great. They've got some good pieces. They're in better shape than Denver right now, I think.
They definitely could use a safety as well. So, I mean, there could be some, if they get some draft picks for maybe Ginn Jr., they're definitely probably shopping him. It's out there, but I mean,
Yeah, I don't know what they'll get for him though.
you can still keep the guy. I mean, the guy's great on special teams.
He just
But I
has
mean,
that first round contract that they took him at what,
yeah,
11? I mean, he's high. That's a high pick for a guy, and then you got that contract. He's not going to restructure. That'd be stupid to. You know what I mean? He's got money coming to him. He's going to make him play that out or cut him outright, which they may do. So we'll see. I mean, back to Denver though. I mean, it was interesting that you had talked about their offense and the dynamic. We had an opportunity to sit and talk to some defensive players that played against the Broncos, and some of the questions I asked them in private was about facing Denver and the game planning that the defensive players had, set up. And they said that the defensive coaches told them just to keep everything in front of you because Denver refuses to go deep for whatever reason. A lot of Kyle Orton's passes were short, within 20 yards of the line of scrimmage, so everything was like the red zone. So the defensive players that I talked to said just keep everything in front of you, and if it looks like a play's unfolded, 95% of the time that's what's going to happen. So they would jump routes, they would get physical with receivers early, and you notice the severe drop-off with guys like Eddie Royal, who is a lot smaller and lighter. So inside of that tight frame, when you've got guys bodying up on you, you need a big receiver that's going to go up and catch the ball, like Brandon Marshall. So to lose a guy like that, when you play that style of offense, I mean, it hurts on two sides because now you have nobody that's going to stretch the field, and you don't have a receiver who's going to make those tough catches in traffic. It's a tough pill to swallow initially. I mean, any way you look at it, Denver's offense was not dynamic last year, and to lose a 100-catch guy, they're not going to be dynamic next year unless they make some major moves, which, they can. I mean, I'm not saying they can't make a trade package and go get a guy like Sam Bradford, or go get make a couple moves, get a good quarterback early, and then jump back in the first round later and, get a stud receiver. What I went for in the mock draft, and this is what I think Denver's plan of attack should be, and some of the Bronco fans I spoke with think I'm crazy, which may be true, but Mike McCoy is the Broncos' offensive coordinator. He came from Carolina. In Carolina, they had 2 stud running backs, 2 first-round picks within a couple of years. If I'm Denver right now, I say, okay, Kyle Orton's not the guy. I go out and get C.J. Spiller, and I add the home run threat from the running attack. I pair him with Noshawn Marino, and in a couple of years, I've got the most dynamic running back tandem in the league, and the Dolphins proved that will work. They didn't have a passing attack for a while. Chad Henne was a rookie, but yet they could still compete in games because they controlled the clock. They ran the ball down your throat with a two-headed attack. And if you're going to need explosion from somewhere, 15-play drives every time you touch the ball, they don't work. So you need to have a guy that can take it to the house in a blink, and that's C.J. Spiller. So at 11, if Denver jumps in and takes Spiller, now all of a sudden the offense has some pop. A little bit of stuff the safety says, hey, I got to play back because this 4-3 guy could run by me in a heartbeat. May open things up underneath for the passing attack that Denver likes. Just saying.
I mean, I think there's other, areas to address for them to take Spiller, but I know that's your theory. Hey, and you never know. You never know. Brady Quinn could be the I'm just saying. You don't know.
He made me throw up in my mouth a little bit.
I'm saying. We haven't seen what he can do in a different situation. He might have a better line. It's nice to have Ryan Clady blocking for you.
True, so, I'll give you that, but he had Joe Thomas at the left side, so it's 50-50 there.
Okay, all right, but
we could argue this point all day. We'll stick to the topic.
Right, yes, Brandon Marshall, yes.
I think the Dolphins greatly improved themselves. At the end of the day, at the end of the draft, they're going to look and they're going to see their first-round pick, Brandon Marshall, and their second-round pick, and then their third and whatever rest of their day. They did great. I mean, to get a guy who's, the Cleveland Browns have never had a receiver catch 100 balls. Brandon Marshall's done it 3 straight years in a row.
Well, look at the Miami Dolphins receivers. The last 15 guys to play receivers in the span that Brandon Marshall's been there haven't equaled the numbers that he's had.
Exactly.
So, I mean, it's a beautiful day for Miami Dolphins fans, and you can't say anything more about their offseason. Carlos Dansby, you got Brandon Marshall, and you still have your first-round draft pick. So with that being said, say no more. We're skinnypost.com. Steve O, Gail Saunders. Give me the skinny 24/7.